What a record it is for this school, St Gregory's College of Campbelltown. They have made the final on 10 occasions. They have won 9. 1979 was their first success, and reaching number 9 last year, and now for 10. Their line-up for today: Potter at fullback, Peacock and Gilmore the wings, Foran and Howell the centres, Britton and Lang the halves, the forwards Short, Kelly, Hoffman, Cochrane, Vag and Eisenhuth. And the player to watch in this St Gregory's College of Campbelltown side, the man to watch is Nathan Vag, junior representative with the Sharks. Last year he tipped the scales at 120 kilos. He's down to 103 for this year's Nutri-Grain Cup. And now Redbend College of Forbes. They have travelled down, stayed overnight in the area and ready for the game of their lives. Representing Forbes and the surrounds. School with 160 boarders at the college, and a number of those boarders in this side. Clark at fullback, Eddie and Hackett the wings, Stevenson and DeManuel the centres, Wells and Duffy the halves, Francisco lock forward and captain, Kelly, Skinner, Wood, Welsh and Clark. Player to watch in this Redbend side is their lock forward and captain, Jacob Francisco. He's under watch with the Raiders and the Tigers, and this year has represented the New South Wales Combined Catholic Colleges side.
Just wait.
Jason Weinstein, referee for this one.
No early starts out there, fellas. No early starts.
The defending champions, they kick off their campaign. They're running from left to right for the first half. St Greg's, similar jumpers, but they did want to retain their colours for today, both schools. Big occasion. First touch with Pat Foran. One of those 8 players that Sean mentioned that are backing up from last year's final squad. Can't remember too many years in recent memory that have seen schools boast that sort of number. This is Nathan Vag, his first touch. And inside the Redbend half, Eisenhuth, out of dummy half, has played junior reps with the Western Suburbs club this year. There's quite a few of them in the St Greg side. Already 32 metres away from the line, and this time Ryan Hoffman, he's another one of the Magpies boys in this St Greg side. It's been an impressive first set of 6. Jeremy Lang with a bomb. The man under it is Luke Clark at the back for Redbend. He does well. It was a kick that was looping on him right at the finish, and a 20-metre restart for Redbend.
Well, it was a perfect set of 6 for St Greg's, wasn't it? What you'll find is they're a very disciplined, well-drilled side. A very good take it was from Luke Clark. Both teams have done everything possible so far. Correct.
And in the meantime, St Greg's up inside the 10. Einstein back just beyond the 40-metre line, and they've all taken off a little early. He could have picked 6 or 7 out.
Thanks, Riley. Stay with it, St Greg, stay with it.
Interesting battle too, the two coaches. Simon Huntley, who was coach at St Gregory's, is actually a former student of Redbend. We mentioned Chris Anderson, a former student of the Forbes College. He has sent a fax passing on his well wishes to this team for today. Vag comes up with some heavy defence up front on Mark Wood. 30 away from the St Greg's line. And Forbes working to the left, Mitchell Duffy. Good number 7, they tell me. Luke Clark in the line. Well contained that time by Chris Britton. Francisco back to the right with Heath Kelly. Hails from Cowra, one of those boarders at the college. Blindside play with Francisco. Right foot kick, not a good one. Covered up, and St Greg's back in possession with Britton.
Yeah, it was a good ball to put on the toe then. Last tackle they elected to run it from dummy half. But Jacob Francisco showing all the skills. He's putting it on the toe, but it was well cleaned up, wasn't it, from Chris Britton?
Rick Cochrane, the captain, just playing it short of that 20. Sean made the point, well-drilled side. Few mistakes in their game. They just keep on coming in waves in attack. Vag gets another touch, and wrapping around him was the number 7 Lang, putting it down. Redbend will come up with the ball. Not a great advantage. The knock-on could have been 30 metres out from the St Greg's line. They come up with it inside their own half, Redbend. And Luke Clark gets another touch in the line. Inside St Greg's territory. Gavin Skinner. Both teams over the early match nerves.
Hold here, hold.
And Redbend now settling into their own game. Duffy pushing along with Wells, who'll have the goal-kicking duties today. They're 5'8". Ended up with DeManuel. And back infield put down by Wood. Quick turnover. And they need to look alive because Kelly's away. Brett Kelly, runaway back rower. 20 minutes from the line and offloading for Howell. Oh, that is a good try from St Greg's. Wonderful work from Brett Kelly. And the support play. Spot on from David Howell. 4-0 to St Greg's.
We'll put that down to the defence of St Greg's. They really got up in the face of Redbend, putting pressure on the ball receiver you find here. I think it was Jason Wells. The ball just goes to ground, but Brett Kelly picks the ball up and look at his fend there, pushes him away, able to hold him off, then pop a great ball to Howell, who we featured before kickoff, and he had the pace to finish it off.
Well, this is a great sight for St Greg's. Free running back rower showing great strength, great balance, and Howell in support. Scored a try in the semi-final last year, scored a try in the final, and has now made it 3 out of 3 scores in the first game of 2001. Yet another player to watch. Off to the start, and the man who set up the try converts it. St Gregory's. They've brought along plenty of their schoolmates. They lead by 6 points to 0 over Redbend College of Forbes.
No early starts, wait.
Back with the action in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup. Redbend College of Forbes. Oh, that was close there for Chris Britton. The end, the touch of the magician to keep the ball alive without going over the sideline.
That was
passed off his back.
That was unbelievable work from Britton. Have a look at this. Had to make up a lot of ground to get to the ball. Gets it on the full, but his momentum would have carried him over the sideline. He had the presence of mind just to throw it in. Great piece of work.
St Greg's 5 inside their own half. Lang dumping it back on the inside for Hoffman. Hoffman played for the New South Wales under-17s this year. Player on the improve with St Greg's. Came off the bench last year. The number 12. And last tackle play here for the defending champions. Jeremy Lang has made a good start to the game. The halfback he's replacing from last year, Riley Mullins, was our Peter Sterling medal winner. So big shoes to fill. And Redbend with their fullback, Luke Clark.
Tackle 2, roll off now.
Inside their 30. Away this time with David Welsh.
That's 3 there, roll away.
Hails from Yagara. Best known for producing Ian Walsh, former Dragons front rower, is now DeManuel.
Don't break early.
5 metres inside St Greg's territory. Tackler was Rhett Cochran. Duffy for Francisco. On the bounce, not handled there by Redbend Forbes.
Play knock on first.
Didn't get the bounce they were hoping for. Gavin Stevenson, the redhead in the centres, was hoping the ball would come up for him. So an error from Redbend.
There's no doubt Redbend want to throw the ball wide. It's twice we've seen him come out to this left-hand side. Just an error in the passing, bringing them undone.
10 metres inside their half. This scrum 1. Pat Foran. Solid centre.
Okay, 1 there, play now.
Simon Huntley.
2 there, play the ball with the foot, play with the foot.
45 metres out from the line. Back this time with Hoffman. There by Stevenson. The 2 centres for Redbend will be hoping to get a bit of the ball. There's some big wraps on them. Gavin Stevenson, the quickest player in the side. But right now to St Greg's. Creeping a little closer. Lang combining with Britton. And Britton deciding to run himself that time.
Get him up.
Tackler was Mitchell Duffy. 5th tackle for St Greg's. Lang, let's try another bomb. First one was defused by Clark. He's got the job again. But this time it's the winger, David Eddy, who comes down with the ball. Nice work from David Eddy.
Well, they've tested him on 2 occasions now, St Greg's. Redbend being up to it on both times. But Eddie, he took the last ball on the full that came out his way, and he had to make up a fair bit of ground on that occasion. Got above the pack, showed a great deal of confidence.
Another penalty for inside the 10. Weinstein has been tough on it, but he's got Greggs taking off the line a little too early again.
Thanks, Mario. Hey, Riley. Keep going, thanks, Greg.
Redbend
All the way.
making their first interchange of the match. Sal Purcell is out there. He's the man with the ball now. Talk about likely looking customers. Sal Purcell, 103 kilos. Not all that tall either. And Francisco back for Clark. A set play which wasn't quite precise, or as they would have trained for. Wasn't done at top speed. Francisco at a dummy half. Now 20 metres away from the St Greg's line. St Greg's in front by 6 points to 0. Early try to their centre, David Howe. Duffy, nice hands there from Wells. Short pass to a man. He had a gap there, Jared DeManuel. It was closed, and now Ben Clark out of dummy half. Only 9 metres away, but it is the last tackle for Redbend. The Western Division champions. Jason Wells. This is a high kick. Potter's the man under it for St Greg's, and we're seeing some very safe work at the back from both teams. Good communication. Potter put the call in and came up with a ball. And now St Greg's on the restart. Ball travelling forward. Chance for Redbend, but this is what we expected of Potter last year in the final. He showed it, and again today, Sean.
Yeah, son of Mick Potter, and he was probably one of their best last year in the Cup final. Such an advantage to have a fullback that you just know is going to take them. As we saw, St Greg's really fluff a great opportunity for a quick 20-metre tap. Just a stray pass that bounced off the shoulder. They had Redbend then, they were struggling to get back on side. Would have been interesting.
Listen. Come a bit closer, don't come in. Hold the weight, St Greg's, hold the weight. In the front foot, in you go.
Mitchell Duffy working the scrum. There was just a slight chance there. We might have had one against the feed.
Don't break it.
Manuel.
Okay, Wayne, stand away,
So the set starts 25 metres out from the St Greg's line. And from dummy half, Dombre. Little run there. Jeff Williams, the coach of Redbend. And a couple of changes already. Mark Wood from West Wyalong. Plays in the West Wyalong side on the weekends. Jason Wells pushing along with a halfback, Duffy. Duffy, it was a flimsy attempted tackle first up from Brett Kelly. Chance then for Redbend with Francisco. Got away from Potter. Francisco is over. I don't quite know how he got there, but he did. And he has his team's first try, the skipper of Redbend College Forbes. It is 6-4.
Well, he got there all right, Vossi. It was just through sheer determination. That's what it was. He really wasn't entitled to score. There was plenty of defensive players. He just throws a dummy, stops, gets past Potter, and then just able to put that arm over the line. Great bit of strength from a man who's not all that big.
One of the players he beats too, it's captain on captain. The number 8 for St Greg's will come up. Rhett Cochran coming into frame now. He misses a front-on tackle. That will hurt when he watches it back. Great work, Francisco.
Here it is, ball going through the hands, looking to throw it wide again. Just props off that left foot. Still had a fair bit of work to do when he got to the ground. Good effort.
'17-year-old Jason Wells is their goal kicker from 15 metres out. 15 in from touch, unsuccessful. St Greg's remain in front, but we have a battle on our hands. It is 6-4, Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup.
No early start, St Greg's. Make sure you're behind the ball, okay? Make sure you're behind the ball. Wait for it, no early starts, hold. No penalties from here.
Defending champions, up by 2. Early try, but the strike back now from Jacob Francisco. And Redbend are doing very nicely. I'm sure their coaching staff is satisfied with what they're seeing here. They've made a couple of errors, but they've matched St Greg's in all departments. Probably the size is an advantage for St Greg's, a bigger team. Jeff Williams was actually an Australian schoolboy way back in the early 70s, the side coached by Roy Masters. Some good names in that team, players like Craig Young and Les Boyd. Gavin Skinner now with it for Redbend.
Well, Simon Huntley, the coach of St Greg's, there wouldn't be any panic stations yet, but there would be some alarm bells ringing. If you look at the game, it's been fairly even, and St Greg's try come against the run of play. I've told them they were almost unbeatable. St Greg's with so many players backing up from last year, but obviously Redbend have got something to say about that.
Peacock with a run. Over 40, there were 4 men in that tackle for Redbend. And it really wasn't a dominant hit. As Cochrane,
That's 3 there, stand off now.
strong charge to halfway. He was twisted over. That prevents the quick play the ball. Lang, and working right, good defence again by Redbend. Just when St Greg's building up to something with Hoffman. Back in field this time with Brendan Oak. This bloke is only 16 years of age out of year 10. The #1 youngster in the college in rugby league. Lang's kick over the top. Clark is in goal, has to come to the field of play. Perfect distance on the kick to make Clark play at the ball. Clark was back there hoping that it would land in goal.
So this is shaping as a very good game. We've seen some great individual performances here so far from both teams. And the fullbacks have been great, both Potter and Clark. You're right, Vossi. Redbend a much smaller team, but geez, they're putting their body on the line in defence, getting right in the faces of St Greg's and doing all they can to stop their momentum.
The player who just played the ball, he's outsized the front row, Mark Wood, but he's done plenty of hit-ups. Drop ball out wide from DeManuel. This is the chance St Greg's was sweating on. Scrum feed, 25 metres out.
Inside 20 guys.
Yeah, probably wasn't the best pass for Jared DeManuel. If he had his time over, he probably would have held on to that. Didn't get his outside man much hope at all catching that.
And that half to square up, mate. Just get your body square, that's all, okay? Bend them, hold the weight, just get the legs down, in you go, in you go.
What an opportunity this is. Lang. Running it to Manning. Top of the ground. Just inside the 20. Calling the shots this time is Britton. Fell into the tackle. Still a great position as Eisenhuth runs at the line and passes that short one. The defence was just a little tardy. David Welsh eventually made the tackle. Now Eisenhuth has a crack at them. A little expedition there. And with Britton, Lang that time at second receiver. 1/2 and 5/8 swapping around. Risky pass from Lang. Forbes have the ball. Pressure is off. St Greg's leading by 6 points to 4 as Luke Clark tries to bring his side out of trouble.
Well, Coach Jeff Williams will be very happy with Redbend's defence so far. As I mentioned, spoiling St Greg's attack, getting right up there off their line, snuffing out any attack potential they have.
This has been a good defensive set from St Greg's. Tough coming out of trouble, and then the charge down on the Francisco kick. Need a bounce, St Gregory's. They get it now with their centre. And for it. All the way from the line. Dummy half as Howe scored their first try. Looking for a second. He's got a double. David Howe scores the second try for St Greg's. And that try has come about from some wonderful defence in the previous set. 10 points to 4.
Yeah, well, it came from the charge down. That's what you get if you make the effort. You get out there, put pressure on the kicker. Sometimes this happens for you. Bang, ricochet. Gets pulled out of the St Greg's play, but it didn't matter. It was a bad bounce for Chris Britton. But on the next set, David Howe just got into dummy half. He's big and tall and strong. Actually had a player underneath him when he finished, but was able to get the ball loose and just plant it down. Bang. Good bit of work there.
That's better, I can hear you now.
Second kick of the day for Britton. This one never looked like missing. Never strayed away from the black dot. 8-point advantage, a good one. 12-4 to St Gregory's. David Howell, who this year has played in the Steelers junior rep sides. That a try, a show of determination from the centre.
No early starts, Redbend. Wait for it, winger, stay.
Good Jason Wells. Redbend forms are able to hit back after the first try. They have to do the same again coming up to half-time. I don't think they want to be chasing more than 8 points. Pat Foran. Well, he's a back rower in the making, this centre. Pat Foran. That's what I'm seeing of him. He reminds me a little bit of Jamie Lyon. Just a few years back playing for Parramatta Maris, big robust centre. Jamie Lang, 35 metres away from the Forbes line. They are under pressure here, they're tiring. Coming up to half-time, falling off tackles. They've fallen off 3 there. Eisenhuth away. And good cover there from Gavin Stevenson. It's on again for St Greg's. John Ellis working to the right with Foran. Lovely ball. There's another one. Gilmore over in the corner. Redbend Forbes. They're out of petrol coming up for the break. 2 quick tries and it's 16-4.
You said it, Vossi, they are out of petrol. Just too much possession going St Greg's way. Eisenhuth having a blinder so far, starting to make a lot of yards out of dummy half, keeps his ball alive. Able to kill it there, they were, Redbend. But on the very next set, still not able to get set in defence, which is a simple catch and pass. And good old Chris Gilmore there to finish it off.
Yeah, good old Chris Gilmore. Country Rugby Union representative.
It's Happy Gilmore today.
Chris Britton, pretty handy cricketer too, they tell me. Playing grade cricket for University of New South Wales. A wicket keeper unsuccessful with that kick. 16-4.
Just unable to get set in defence. They're always going to be a man short here, Redbend. What they need to do the next set is just try and force an error. They need to get the ball, maybe when they do get it, kick it out so they can walk to the scrum, suck it in.
Wait for it, guys.
Try and wind this first half down.
Jason Wells find himself restarting play yet again. A little bit too quick for his liking. John Ellis for St Greg's. They play unlimited interchange in the Nutri-Grain Cup.
2 there, Marcus, square the rough.
4 replacements, of course. Chris Gilmore, the try scorer, playing it. Now Brett Kelly. Has
3
been
there,
a team
Marcus,
performance
square,
for St Greg's. Everyone contributing to the cause. Possession probably spread across all 6 of the forwards. They're through again. That time Oak got the offload away. And with it a short, they're only 20 metres away from the line.
Skip up, roll out, skip up, take it, stand up.
Redbend College find themselves under enormous pressure. It's only a matter of minutes ago they trailed by 2. Cochrane got a call and was able to offload for Peacock.
That's 5.
Now just 5 away, but it is the last tackle.
Don't play it on him, don't play it on
Redbend
him.
Forbes desperate for some sort of soft finish to this set of 6. The kick is well weighted and has to be taken dead. No chances at all. It'll be a line dropout.
Well, Redbend were desperate for that ball to go dead. The last thing they needed was to have another set on their line. They held on grimly. So at the halfback, Jeremy Lang's doing some great work going to the line. Really set up short there for that little bust.
So line dropout. Oh, by geez, this one has only just gone to 10 metres. And they've almost retained possession. Well, Sean, you're not going to tell me they deliberately did that kick.
No, he shanked that off the boot, but it was nearly a good bad one. And they were nearly, if that ball sticks, who knows what happens. It's the sort of luck they need now, Redbend.
Stevenson almost had it. I still don't think he was expecting it.
Stay here, stay.
But there was a chance. And scrum base play. Short passes there for Foran. 3 in the tackle. Steve Walker over the top. Had to add all his weight to the tackle. Eisenhuth had a couple of cracks at the line already. Back for Short. Short by name, and he's certainly a very stocky lock forward. 5 metres away, Eisenhuth, they were set for a blindside play, and then through the centre, the power play for the captain, Cochrane. Right on the goal line. Welsh has got him front on. Eisenhuth scoops it up for Lang. Runners on the outside in an overlap. It comes for the fullback, Potter. Round the corner, they keep it alive there for Peacock.
Last pass is forward.
And the last pass has been called forward.
Oh, that was a shame, David Howe. What a great flick pass. Thought he was wrapped up as we saw a good round the corner there from Chris Potter. And then backwards blind. David Howe just ruled that it went forward. They're looking dangerous down here, St Greg's, aren't they? I'll tell you what I noticed.
Hold the weight.
Eisenhuth, he packed in it, locked that last scrum. He's obviously seen as an attacking weapon. Very dangerous, scheming around that dummy half area.
Stay in, lock, stay in. It's out, play on.
16-4. Redbend College of Forbes in possession. Their halfback, Mitchell Duffy, to play it. 6-0 early to St Greg's. Forbes fought back to 6-4, and then the two quick tries to the defending champions. Still 60 seconds from half-time. The last few times with the ball, they've really done it tough coming out of their own danger zone. Mark Wood has taken across field. They're not making the metres they were in the first section of this half. So now the opportunity to spread wide. With that time up in the tackle on Duffy was Britton. And that is the last tackle, and they've only made it to their 30. Francisco, their try scorer. Deep kick, but Potter is well positioned. Puts it down, Potter. I reckon that's his first mistake in 2 years. It's gone backwards. And Potter back over the 30-metre line. He makes up for it. Almost back to the 40.
A dangerous kick in the end. They kicked right down the middle of the field, which is very hard to defend against. He would have preferred maybe for them to even kick that ball out, surrender this first half, get in, have a chat, come out and try and take on St Greg's in the second half a bit fresher.
Simon Huntley, the St Greg's coach, ready to deliver the halftime address, but just seconds left for points. They won't get them here as Oker's tackled. It's been a quality first half, though, in this Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup match from Parramatta Stadium. 3 tries to 1. As we break, the defending champions are on top. St Gregory's College of Campbelltown leading Redbend College of Forbes by 16 points to 4. Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup, we're ready for the second half. St Gregory's College of Campbelltown.
Okay, hold the guys, no early start.
Second half, the defending champions running from right to left. Redbend College Forbes defending the Peter Sterling Hill here at Parramatta. Some good work in the first half, but they did struggle coming up to the break and conceded 2 tries. Suddenly they find themselves down by 12. But they certainly did start the game well, and they need to recapture that and probably lift a notch to get back in this game. Halves have been strong. Duffy and Wells. Tackled there as Gavin Skinner on their 30-metre line. Mitchell Duffy and Wells passing wide. Some lovely defence there, front on from Jeremy Lang. See, if we had to pick the Nutri-Grain player of the match right at the moment, it would be a very tight vote. Plenty of the St Greg's players putting in. Kick downfield from Wells. Appeared to cop a deflection on the way through. Attacking the football is Gilmore. He's not happy, Gilmore, this time. Geez, real penalty there. I've got to say, I thought there was a deflection on the way through, putting everyone onside.
Well, it was great work from St Greg's in the first place to get up and put so much pressure on the kicker. They did that the whole set. But he's just ruled that he was offside. Didn't retreat back the 10 metres once in front of the kicker. Bit of bad luck again for Redbend. They haven't really received any good luck in this game so far.
Hold the mark, guys, for the touchy.
40 away from the line, St Greg's.
Hang on, guys, back we go. Hold the mark, hold the mark.
Brad Eisenhuth with a free kick. St Greg's, their captain, Cochrane. I reckon he's still smarting on missing the tackle on Jacob Francisco for the lone Forbes try in the first half. Looking to make amends in this second period.
Play for two, play for two.
Half is Potter. Working infield with Short. Versatile player, played in the under-18s for Parramatta this year. Covered just about every position. He wears 13 today on his back. Cochrane gets another charge, or rather Vaggett is up the middle. Only 15 metres away from the line. Plenty of size about the two front rowers for St Greg's. Another dart for Eisenhuth, only 5 metres from the line. Francisco got him low. Last tackle. To the left was Short, a dummy. And Short is trapped. That's the changeover. So Forbes hang on. And 16-4 it is to St Greg's.
Well, it seems pretty clear to Redbend. They can't give the ball to St Greg's down this end of the field very often. They've got the size up against them. Very big side, St Greg's. Rhett Cochrane, Nathan Vagg, Brett Kelly, Brad Eisenhuth, I should say, Jeremy Lang. They've got the ball skills to put the big players through the gaps.
A few more willing players than Mark Wood, the number 8 for Forbes, taking the ball back to the 20. Plenty of hit-ups. This one has been put down, coming out of trouble. Jared DeMemuel, and it is play on for David Howell. Already 2 tries in the first half. A much improved player from last year. His brother playing in the lower grades with the Dragons now in the NRL. Up it comes with Hoffman. Hoffman, has hit the upright head on. Oh, this is very nasty. This is very nasty. Ryan Hoffman, he does appear to be conscious, but that was awesome impact.
Well, that was sickening, Vossi. He was going to score. It was a terrific run. Puts his head down to get past the fullback in Clark, and whoa.
Mate.
Well, he's taken the padding. That is the reason the padding is around the uprights. You could probably do with twice the thickness there. He hit it that hard. Simon Huntley, the coach, watches on. So, all concern for Ryan Hoffman at the moment. His side leading Redbend College by 16 points to 4. Yep. So no time off. Parramatta doctor is out there, Dr. Johnson. So he's in capable hands. Ryan Hoffman, one of the players who played in last year's final. His father Jay, a pretty handy player in his time, played with the Canberra Raiders. But young Ryan has suffered this injury entirely through his determination to get to the try line. He was thinking nothing but scoring the try. Watch it again as he burrows low. And front on, Clark was there in defence, but Clark's tackle pales into insignificance with the post there. Will apply the collar. It's all precautionary at this stage. He did appear maybe to lose consciousness for just a matter of seconds, but there was some movement there almost immediately after the impact. There's some movement with the legs and the arms, which is a great sign for Ryan. And that from behind Hoffman. Impact enough to shift the padding. And I don't think I've heard a sound like it. When it hit the post, Sean, head on, you heard it reverberate right around this ground here at Parramatta.
Well, you did. It was a sound you don't like to hear. It was a sound of metal shaking. He hit it that hard, he nearly knocked the post over. But years ago, we didn't have padding. It's a good thing it was there on this occasion.
Well, this is happening. The St Greg's players are keeping warm. Jogging up near 30-metre line. They went for a jog up to halfway. All the players very concerned about their teammate, of course, Ryan Hoffman. It's come at a time when they are on top. Ryan Hoffman scores there. You dare say it's game over. Ryan Hoffman onto the Medicab, his side leading by 16 points to 4, but a very scary moment in the life of this young footballer.
Hang on.
Denied a try, that's the least of his worries right at the moment.
Over the front foot, mate. He's got to go over his front foot,
And play restarts with a scrum 10 metres out.
These two props here, hold each other and square up, okay? Just keep the legs, give me a tunnel, that's it. I need a tunnel. Stay in the scrum, stay in. That's out.
Francisco having to rake it back, the lock forward, Duffy. So I'm sure the incident has shaken up players of both teams, as a matter of fact. The collision for Hoffman and the upright.
Square it up now. Stay here in the centre, stay.
And if St Greg's needed even extra motivation to win, they've now got it. Let's win it for Ryan, who'd like to be out there for the remainder of the game. Redbend Forbes at the moment, again doing it very tough. Coming out of their own 20, eating through the tackles. DeManuel, the centre, gets in to help out, but he's upended. A dominant tackle. That's tackle 5, and they're only just outside the 20.
Number 10's offside.
This is a real tough slog for Forbes now to get out of this one. Wells' kick, not deep. Fielded there by Peacock. Chased through there by Duffy.
Don't rake it.
They start the set just outside the Redbend 40.
Well, that's an indication of St Greg's desire in defence there. They were really pumped up. We saw them warming up whilst that delay was on, and as soon as Redbend were ready to start their set, they were just up on them, gave them no chance. As we see them getting a penalty here, to receive the ball only 45 metres out after a kick, puts you in a very good situation.
Mark Wood penalised. Front row over the top, just the flop. And then the body press. And Greg's now looking to take a step closer to wrapping this match up. Eisenhuth, the Nathan Vag, the junior shark, is only 3 metres from the line. Over the top, DeManuel. Eisenhuth dummy half, had a few cracks in the first 25 minutes. Oak standing in the tackle. Mentioned in the first half, only 16 years of age. Youngest player of this St Greg's side. Lang working there with Short. And Short able to offload, but the Forbes defence not panicking. Still alive, though, with Oak again. 5 metres away from the line. DeManuel's got an arm.
That's 3. Hands off 10.
He leaves the body for his teammates. Eisenhuth. Oh, well, Eisenhuth, that's not good play. Sean Garlick, former hooker. That's terrible from the number 9 from St Greg's.
Well, we did mention that their jumpers were rather similar at the start of the game. Eisenhuth there popped his head up from dummy half and then was, I think, disorientated. Just passed it straight to him.
Just number 4.
Well, it's not an intercept, is it? It's just a throw it straight to him.
That's his thinking.
There we go.
Straight to.
Good luck to your son.
Well, he was going to run around him, I think. And he got a surprise when he didn't offer the ball back. See a high shot here coming from our try scorer, David Howe. Just what they needed, Redbend. This helps them get out of trouble.
They do need to score next. David Welsh, dive inside their own territory. And attacking the blind side. Some of these St Greg's players offside. I thought Eisenhuth was inside the 10. Tackled was Luke Hackett. Rare touch for him. Ben Clark infield. DeManuel.
That's 3 there. Dominant percent away.
Quite honest, I'm not sure what position Jared DeManuel's playing at the moment, but he's getting plenty of touches. May have shifted into the back row. Wide pass across there. It is play on. Potter has to go back for St Greg's. He's able to cover up. And as he did so many times last year, when he looks under pressure, he just bounces straight back.
That was great work again by Potter. He almost got tired of saying it, but he was back there entitled just to dive on it and be tackled, but still was able to get up and advance the football 10 metres. This is the first time Redbend have been down this end for a long time. They need a good set of 6. Try and force an error, perhaps go in and put this game within reach.
St Greg's just outside their 20. Slow play the ball for Short. Eisenhuth to the left with Cochrane. Straight running.
4 there. Come on,
Makes 10 metres. Wood there in defence again. Just give him another rap. Mark Wood, he's been a tireless worker for Forbes. As that tackle suggestion was a little high from Sal Purcell. Copped a little caution on the run. This kick on the last from Lang. Just outside the 40. Bounces nicely for Luke Clark. No mistakes from the fullback for Redbend. Tackled outside the 20. The man there was David Howe. Eddie with it.
They're very good defensively around the ruck, aren't they, St Greg's? They're just playing into their hands, I feel, Redbend, with these dummy half runs and the hit-ups one off the ruck. Really getting manhandled in defence, forcing a slow play the ball.
This time it's Heath Kelly. Cowra tackled short of the 40-metre line. And they're not matching the metres made by St Greg's when they've got the ball in their hands. Francisco for Clark. Wider there with Skinner, keeping it alive for Wood. They're going across field. Foran adds his weight to the tackle. He got his man. Took him to ground. Last tackle, 5 inside their own half. Forbes. Duffy's kick. They've tried the short one for the first time in the match. Stevenson was getting through. And coming up with it was Gilmore. Last line again of St Greg's very good. I don't think it was Gilmore, actually. Well, the men at the back have been good for St Greg's. They had to get low on this football.
3 there, Marcus Roll. We've actually get to the 10-9, especially you, okay?
Just outside the 40. Eisenhuth for Short to halfway.
That's 4.
Brains there in defence.
Come on, look for it. 9.
Eisenhuth to the right with Britton.
That's 4.
That time shortening up the passing game. Foran had a run at Stevenson. It's been a good battle in the centres, the two blokes, Stevenson and Foran. High ball from Lang. This one's going to bounce. That's trouble. Up it comes for Hal. 15 metres out from the line for Peacock. Peacock for the try line and great cover defence from Jared DeManuel. A real try saver.
Oh, he just come from nowhere, Jared DeManuel. I was ready to mark the 4 points down. Some good work again from David Howe. It's an unfortunate bounce, but look at this tackle. Holds him up over the line. Fantastic work. That's what happens when you allow the ball to bounce. It was a great kick. Spiral A spiral bomb that was allowed to bounce. David Howe puts the ball in the hands there of Brendan Peacock, and oh, what a tackle.
Forbes with it on their own 20. Non-brainer run, and there's some heavy work over the top from the halfback. Real worries now for Jeff Williams. He knows his team, his boys from Forbes are doing it tough. They're having trouble just getting outside their own half, just outside their own 30 and 40 in most sets. Cross with Francisco. They will try a shot on the flanks, but that is also tempting fate. Todd Renton across there in defence for St Greg's. Kicking from their own 30, and the ball has gone high. On the last tackle, Howell is under it. Just inside his own half.
I mentioned how well drilled St Greg's were, and it's the little things that just go unnoticed. Simon Huntley's got them dominating the play of the ball just about every occasion, slowing them down, really working them over. Allows them to get set in defence, and they're really putting a great deal of pressure on Redbend when they're trying to come out of trouble. This looks so much easier from St Greg's.
For St Greg's, the news, or the early news on the injury to Ryan Hoffman is good. He will go off to hospital for x-rays, but the medical staff optimistic. There'll be no serious damage there. That is terrific news. St Greg's with Reece Short. And a run around with Kelly, and Short got the call, and the call came from the captain, Cochrane.
Oh, the good old run around, it's back. Haven't seen it for a while. Putting it in to mix up the hit up.
Ellis, round the corner. It comes up the way of Short. There was a chance there for David Welsh to get an intercept, the front rower for Redbend. 5 away from the line. Dummy half is Britton. To Lang. He's got a few to pick from, and he picks out Potter. Beautifully constructed try. Their first of the second half. It looks good for the defending champions at 20 points to 4.
If I was Jeremy Lang, that's what I'd do as well. Go to the line. You've got big men running off your shoulder. Go there, commit the defence. Here you see him just go handball out in front. They hold off, and Chris Potter, although he's not the big man, he's the clever man. Knows where to run. Straight into the gap there. He was doing it in the first half. He's continued his good form in the second. Lang, he said he had big shoes to fill. He's doing a very good job of it at the moment.
Kelly took the first shot of the game. Returns now as the #1 kicker from 10 in from touch. Kelly's kick, he's put a bit of hook on it. Unsuccessful. 4 tries to 1 though here in the Nutri-Grain Cup. St Greg's up by 20 points to 4.
No early starts, wait for it, no penalties to halfway.
Only the 1 try in the second half, conceded by the Redbend College. Their assignment is a massive one now. Cochrane returns. Playing it short of the 30-metre line. Line breaks have been heavily in favour of St Greg's. Started early in the first half. They've come up with an error there. It'll be a scrum feed 35 metres out. At 4 and unhappy with that.
Well, you would think, Vossi, if Redbend were to get back into this, they have to make the most of this opportunity. They haven't been given many of these during this game. St Greg's have been very disciplined. A mistake coming out of their own end. They must convert it into points.
6 errors apiece. And again, a set play breaking down for Forbes as DeManuel takes the tackle. He does actually play prop for the Forbes under-18s on the weekends, DeManuel, so it's no surprise if he has shifted into the pack in this game, although he stood out of the scrum on that occasion. A versatile player. Hamish Ridley for Forbes, 25 metres away. And coming back infield with David Welsh. Slammed in the tackle, Oak over the top. Some nice work from Short, low, in front of his team's posts. Now to the right with Wells. Halves haven't been as dominant. Jason Wells and Mitchell Duffy as the St Greg's pair. Last tackle. Duffy passing. Francisco's kick, a tough one through the legs of Renton. He got a touch to it. Line dropout.
Well, that's the next best result you need. They didn't get it in goal. At least it came off the St Greg's player. Unwittingly through the legs, but doesn't matter. They'll get another set of 6 off this dropout.
Sorry for Renton there. There wasn't a whole lot he could do. He was in the line of fire. Had no time to get out of the way of it. And it was travelling. Line dropout. Plenty of the St Greg's students behind the goalposts. Defending their team now and urging them on. Back comes David Welsh. 30 metres from the line. Here's Mitchell Duffy, put down by the second rower Kelly. Back with Howell. Straight away, every time Howell has touched the ball, he's looked like something is going to happen. And that time he's made 20 metres. From dummy half Peacock. Through the tackle of Francisco, then got past another. He left the front rower Welsh behind. 35 metres away. I think we said it in the first half. Forbes looking out of petrol as we get to the back end of the match. That's what it looks like here now. That was their last charge on the previous set. And Greggs are making easy metres now. John Ellis will play at 15 out. 18-5 the missed tackle count. And it is climbing in this set of 6 as Renton goes to within 5 metres. And they'll take a shot in the right. Foran's put it down. It was there for them.
An impressive set of 6 though, wasn't it? They've come the entire length of the field. This ball just went to ground. Tell you what, there've been some good players in this St Greg's side. We talk about Jeremy Lang and Chris Britton. It's been a tremendous platform laid down by their forwards. Brett Cochran, Nathan Vagg, Eisenhuth and Hooker's had a great game as well. Brett Kelly really made it easy for his halves and his outside men.
Push from St Greg's has been evident in every scrum in this match. Gavin Stevenson, one of the better performers for Redbend. There's no disgrace in what they've shown here, Redbend College of Forbes. A qualifier, they won 5 matches to get to this point. Western Division champions. Then knocked over Colleton High from Penrith. Last round, knocked over Edmund Rice College from Wollongong, a game where they came from behind. So it's been a fine year for them. Just unfortunate they run into the defending Cup champions.
Well, that's it, Bossy. You can see they're a year older, they're a year bolder. So confident in the way they do things.
Francisco with a little kick through. He'll be covered up. St Greg's get the ball from halfway. Potter. They really haven't had to work in their second half. Run the ball out from inside their 20 or their 30. It's Vagg, another charge. 40 away from the line. And short. Back with Cochran. Strong run and defend and an offload for Renton. 25 from the line. Was out on the wing, now it's a little closer to the action. This time it's Brandon Oak, able to pass, and running through they go. This will be another try to St Greg's. It's become a little too easy for them. Plenty of support. They now have 5 tries. It is 24-4.
It's just not the runs that make it so good for St Greg's. It's the quick play the balls they get once they've completed the run. And here we just see number 11, Brett Kelly, just slice through them. It's a tiring defence, Redbend. You've got to hand it to them. They've been very courageous today. They've got up there. They've just been out-muscled in the forwards. A much bigger team. And there hasn't been many better than Brett Kelly today. So strong.
Try scorer Kelly has the kick from 12 metres out. It's an impressive scoreline now for the Cup champs, the reigning title holders, 26-4. They led 6-4 at one stage. And while he's not showing it, Simon Huntley will be content with the job done.
Hold, guys, hold.
We enter the final phase of this match. We start from Jason Wells for Forbes. And there's been some impressive running from Vagg. That from the front rower from a restart to get outside the 30 is a dream run. Here's Gilmore.
That's 2 there.
on the 40-metre line. Just sets up the entire set of 6 when you get a start like that. Perrott, Andrew Johns watches on here. Newcastle skipper. Put down there by Cochrane for St Greg's. And Forbes will get a scrum feed.
Well, Redbend would have liked a few more of these earlier in the game. They just gave them nothing, St Greg's, tonight. Very disciplined, well drilled, as I mentioned. The forwards have done a terrific job, and the backs have complimented them well. Hasn't been a bad player on the field for St Greg's.
With Luke Clark.
One there, hands off, St Greg. Hands up.
One try scored midway through the first half by their captain, Jacob Francisco. But this is the sort of defence they found themselves on the end of. 2 and 3 in the tackle. Pushed back on their heels. Gavin Skinner that time the victim. Francisco running at John Ellis. 45 away from the St Greg's line. This time David Welsh. And there you have it again. 2 men in the tackle, Eisenhuth and Oak. And it is a back slam. Duffy. Back for Wood. Front on is Eisenhuth. Odds in the first half, playing in the junior reps this year for Western Suburbs. Put down there by Mitchell Duffy on the last tackle, having a think about what he was going to do. So changeover.
That's it now.
Well, it's just been relentless from St Greg's. They've been methodical about it all night. One straight line, rushing off their line. It puts enormous pressure on halves.
And another break for St Gregory's, 30 metres out from the line, crying out for support. This is where the similar jumpers become a problem. It was just a rush of blue. Francisco ended up with a ball. And Luke Hackett.
2 there. Here we are, 10 and 8.
Right inside their own half. Back with Duffy. Running at Oak. Taken across field. But this is just a rush of players. You reckon there's 26 playing on the same team there. And at ground level at speed, flashing past your eyes, you're not quite sure who you're passing to. And across they come with Wells and Francisco, cutting out 2 with a pass. Stevenson. 4 and the battle continues. It goes right to full time, the 2 number 3s in this match. We'll try another bomb. Potter is getting across. It's allowed to bounce. Here's a chance for Forbes. It comes up the way and they aren't able to score because of the last line as Howe. Getting back for St Gregory's College.
Well, it's been a story of the night. That ball could have gone anywhere. A wicked bounce. Comes back. Could have gone to a Redbend player. But you've got to hand it to David Howe. He put himself on the spot. They're getting a little restless, the natives.
Well, a little bit of frustration coming out in the Redbend effort. The final minute of this match.
Walk back. That's it.
Would have knocked the skin off Custard if there was a punch thrown out there. It was all pretty soft, although there was a headbutt. And perhaps there was a few landed.
6 for...
It was 1-on-1.
6. Number 7.
I don't think Jeremy Lang will be doing that again.
Stand by. 7, okay, 7, you're 6 or not? Okay, 6 go away. 7 to St Redbank. No, I want 7 over here. Duffy! 7 over here. Come here!
Well, Mitchell Duffy was headed off towards the bench. He's been called back by the referees and touch judges. The committee meeting is underway.
Okay, fellas, you listen up, okay, and just listen to what Touch has got to say for us.
What I saw with the 2 number 7s, the play the ball was done. They were holding at each other, having a yap at each other. He probably was having a yap. He came in and gave him a headbutt to the head.
Right, okay.
This is a headbutt.
Connection?
Click, and after that, they both started throwing punches.
All right, okay, listen quiet. Yep.
Okay, same thing. The 2 players here together. Man with the head is thrown in the headbutt. Right. The other players retaliating.
Okay, connected with the Redbank blade? Yes. Connected? Yeah, okay. All right, okay. Mate, let us deal with it, okay? All right, okay. No more retaliations, mate. Headbutt, you can go.
Yeah, there's a send-off.
Headbutt.
And he's handled it well, Weinstein. He's taken the report of the touch judge and the headbutt. Jeremy Lang, a blot on his copybook. He'd been one of their best players. He really had been. And bitterly disappointing the end to his game.
Well, it's just madness, isn't it? You're in front like that. It's been a terrific game, leading 26 points to 4, and you snap like that.
I'll tell you what, he lost the fight as well. So Redbend, last chance to score points. Wells, pass on the bounce. Stevenson on tackle number 1, tries a kick. Came off the legs of Renton. And they're saying Renton didn't play at it, so St Greg's will get the feed.
Take our time, all right? Take our time.
Well, that's the rule that came in the last year, the year before. If you don't play at it,
Just hold it,
you're not
hold the weight.
penalised.
Hold the weight, and you go half, and you go. Stay. Play with it. Play with it.
Final play of the match now with St Greg's. The countdown is applied, and Forbes come up with some heavy defence to finish.
Let it go.
But St Greg's, their attack has been effective. Their defence has been outstanding in this game. The defending cup champions, their campaign is underway for 2001. 5 tries to 1. They have defeated Redbend College of Forbes by 26 points to 4.
Good report.
The fence is going to break.
Kills him if there's no padding. I thought he busted his collar, man. Because it looked like his head.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is. It's right where it hit.
That's for you, mate. You're not happy about the team sheet?